wisdom,
prudentia,
justice,
justitia,
temperance,
temperantia,
courage.
fortitudo.
Applying ancient philosophy to modern life, this is the Sunday Stoic.
Welcome to the Sunday Stoic Podcast. This is Steve, coming to you from my living room in Conway, Arkansas. Just put the boy down for a nap and thought, hey, I better get an episode recorded because it's Saturday, and this is the Sunday Stoic, a podcast which combines ancient philosophy and modern life. And wanted to reach out and say thank you to my newest patrons who have joined the show. You can become a patron at www.patreon.com, but I'd like to thank Ben and Juan and Tribal Lion for joining the Sunday Stoic podcast. I have taken the first 20 episodes or so of the podcast and made them available to patrons only at this point. There were some early rough episodes anyway. Some of you may miss them. They're still available on YouTube, but if you want the audio version, the patrons have access to those. And you can get those by becoming a member at the $1 level or above a month. But other than that, I want to thank everyone who wrote in or called in, I should say, wishing my grandmother a happy birthday. She, from the bottom of her heart, said thank you very much. I didn't get to see her in person, or I would have recorded her saying thank you, but she did really appreciate that. She was very impressed to hear from folks from all over the world. And and I'll have to email a few of you some comments. Like my dad said, boy, I'd like to meet that guy. After hearing a few of your voices, they're like, ooh, that guy sounds interesting. But I'll put those at the end of the episode today. This week, I'm going to do a post that was inspired, or a podcast that was inspired by a post by Donald Robertson, and I'll put the link in the show notes. He was talking a bit of speaking like a Stoic, using a laconic phrase, which is a phrase that comes from, I don't know, I guess you call it Laconia or Laconia, the region of Greece that included Sparta. And I'm by no means an expert in Spartan things, but these Spartans were well known for their austere lifestyles, and also in the way they spoke. And apparently their manner of speaking was somewhat copied or somehow inspired the Stoics as well to be sort of minimalist in the way that they spoke, something that I wish I could attain. You've heard me babble on the podcast before. It would be nice to have the mental clarity to just say few poignant words. But apparently they weren't only concise with their phraseology, they often had a bit of wit inserted in there as well. For example, looking at Wikipedia here, it says, for example, a prominent example involves Philip II of Macedon. After invading southern Greece and receiving the submission of other key city-states, he turned his attention to Sparta and asked menacingly whether he should come as a friend or foe. Their reply was neither. Right, so he writes them a big letter. Should I arrive in your city as a friend or as a foe? And they just send a one-letter reply back. Neither. Then he sends another message. You are advised to submit without further delay, for if I bring my army into your land, I will destroy your farms, slay your people, and raze your city. Their reply? If. And that's it. If, one-word reply. So, he says, if I come to your city, I will destroy it. And they reply, if, like, bring it, man. Come on, let's see it. Another example was something along the lines of when someone said, the enemy is approaching, rather than them asking, well, how many are there? They just said, where are they? Direct us to it, right? These very short replies. And so I thought we'd just talk a little bit about that, this idea of being minimalists in our speech, and then applying that also to social media. Obviously, Twitter comes to mind instantly when it comes to minimalist speech, but it's not just using few words, it's limiting how much you share. And let's hear from Epictetus and Seneca about that before we continue. The Enchiridion by Epictetus, number 33. Begin by prescribing to yourself some character and demeanor, such as you may preserve both alone and in company. Be mostly silent, or speak merely what is needful, and in few words. We may, however, enter sparingly into discourse sometimes, when occasion calls for it, but let it not run on of the many common subjects, such as gladiators or horse races, or athletic champions, or food or drink, the vulgar topics of conversation, and especially not on men, so as neither to blame or praise or make comparisons. If you are able, then, by your own conversation, bring over that of your company to proper subjects, but if you happen to find yourself among strangers, be silent. Moral Letters to Lucilius by Seneca, number 40, on Philosopher's Discourse. A philosopher, his speech like his life, should be composed, and nothing that rushes headlong and is hurried is well ordered. Speech that deals with the truth should be unadorned and plain. Therefore, the ultimate kernel of my remarks is this: I bid you to be slow of speech. Moral Letters to Lucilius by Seneca, number 48. Frankness and simplicity beseem true goodness. Epictetus' advice here. Actually sit down and think about it. Who are you? What personality are you going to express to the world? Are you a loudmouth? Are you quiet? Are you reserved? Think about that, and then try to be that person in all circumstances. When you're alone, and when you're in public. When you're on the internet, when you're face to face looking somebody in the eye. Be the same person. That comes up a lot, like living according to nature and living according to yourself and unifying that view, yourself with the laws of nature and yourself with the laws of yourself, who you are within the roles you play, and not being someone who changes face depending on who they're talking to, being a complete person, a constant person, living consistently with nature. And that's a tall order. It sounds noble and great, and we can get better and better and better at it. But sometimes it's like, ooh, in front of these people I'm this way. When I get with these people I'm that way. We might not even notice it, but it's something we have to watch for. He also warns us about just chit-chatting about nonsense with people. He's not a huge fan of small talk, I guess. But he wouldn't be a big fan of talking about sports or things like that, or the news even. But probably about philosophical topics, chatting about, hey, what do you think the meaning of life is? Questions like that might be okay. But also not comparing men. So not saying, oh, I can't believe what so-and-so did, or, God, can you believe how the president acted today, or whatever. That's probably stuff that he would brush aside and say, this concerns things that are not up to me and I find uninteresting and are not involved in becoming a better person. Let's focus on chatting about important things, not trivial nonsense. That's the advice from Epictetus. Seneca, in one reading there, talks a bit about giving speeches and recommends unadorned, plain speech, not trying to sound too fancy, and also speaking somewhat slowly. Don't rush into speech. Like, hey, did you see what I did last week? Oh, I can't believe this. Slow and reflect and reflect on what you're saying. Make sure you want to say it before you say it, and keep it to a minimum. Unadorned, truthful speech. I think the only way to really accomplish these things is to really be mindful in the hic et nunc, here and now, when you're speaking. Who it is, or who is it that you are? Are you a gossiper? If you say, no, I'm not, but you realize that in reality you often are, then you have to change that. And to change that, you have to drive a wedge between your habits and what you want to be. So when someone's chatting to you at work, make a point to think about what you're about to say. Make sure you keep it within the bounds of the things that you think are okay to talk about. So don't compare yourself to others, or don't compare other people to each other. don't gossip too much. You can say direct things about important things that need to get done that day. You can have a bit of a chat about philosophical matters, but maybe talking about what happened on the last episode of whatever it is you're binging on Netflix is not terribly important, because you want to remember, the more you talk about yourself, the more likely you are also going to bore others. You might think, you're the most interesting person you know, probably, and you know a lot about yourself, so it's easy to go on and on and on about it. It's easy to overshare about yourself online to strangers, as Epictetus warns about here in a roundabout way. Hey, look what I did, look what I'm doing. I do it too, right? I post a picture of my kid on Twitter or whatever, but so part of that reason I do that is there's a purpose there, just trying to humanize the voice you hear behind this podcast a little bit. But we can easily overshare, vent our problems to the wrong people, tell people things about ourselves that we should probably just only leave to our closest circle and not just to anyone we talk to. We have intimate friends for a reason. Not everyone is a confidant, and we need to remember that. And we need to not really give a crap about what the masses think of us. And it's real easy with the way social media is set up to start caring about things that really are outside our power. So try to be a little more Spartan in your language. Perhaps you can come up with little, you don't have to be a smart ass, but little pithy sayings here and again. I think a lot of Ambrose Bierce when I read about laconic phrase. I'll talk maybe about him in a future episode. He's always been one of my favorite writers, but then I realized as I got into Stoicism that he was heavily influenced by the Stoics, and some Stoic themes come up in his writings. Not necessarily in a simple way, but in a complex way where someone's trying to live by Stoic principles but being affected by the horrors of the Civil War or something like that. So I may talk about him. I didn't even know this till recently, but his dad was Marcus Aurelius Bierce, so obviously the Stoics had some kind of influence on him. But he wrote a book originally called The Cynic's Word Book and later changed to The Devil's Dictionary, which are short, pithy definitions of words that are pretty interesting to read. But he reminds me of someone that would have pithy things to say, like the Spartans. I can think of an example in my own life. Once again, this is probably oversharing, but one time when I was living with my grandmother, the one that everyone wished a happy birthday to, and I came in really late at night. We had a family member pass away, and so she was living alone, and she wanted someone to live with her for, because she's, up there in years, so I moved in for a few months. And I came in really late at night, and she heard me come in, and I just went upstairs and went to bed. And in the morning, she said, "I heard you come in last night. You didn't check on me. I could have been lying there dead in bed, and you wouldn't have known." And my reply, rather than some large explanation, was, "You'd still be lying dead this morning." If you were dead last night, you'd still be lying there dead this morning. I'd have figured it out eventually, but I just kept it real short. You'd still be lying there dead this morning. My grandma, who's an excellent arguer, looked at me with this look of, "You little bastard," but then could not see a way around my logic and just moved on to the next topic. So think of ways that you can get your point across in a minimalist way. Like I tell my students when they're writing for science, pretend you have to pay $1 for every word you use. Would that make you choose your words differently? Or would you spend that money frivolously? Something to think about, but I'll post some links to some articles on this in the show description. And once again, thank you everyone for writing in. And I already sent out the coin to the winner of the coin, so hopefully you have that now. And be sure to follow me on Twitter, on Facebook if you wish, and feel free to you can donate to the show, but you don't have to. Just a review on a platform of your choosing would help to expand the show. bring it to the faces of others. Feel free to share this show on social media, because one thing I am good at stoically is I don't do tons of self-promotion. I ask you on the show itself, but I don't really push it out there too much. I just got too many other important things to do with my family, with work, to promote my podcast. So I appreciate all of your help, and let me know if there are any topics you'd like to hear about in the near future. And until then, carpe diem. Diego, congratulations on winning the coin, and thank you everyone from the bottom of my heart for doing this for Grandma. It really means a lot to me. And I just wanted to point out the only critique she had was, hey, no women called in. Where are the women's voices?
Hello Emily, how are you? This is Matthew from Nottingham in England. Happy birthday for today. I hope you have a really good day and I hope you enjoy yourself. Also, it's my dad's birthday today, but he's only 83. So, once again, enjoy your day and I hope you can enjoy everything that's on offer.
Happy birthday, Grandma Emily. You have a wonderful grandson in Steve, and I'm glad to help him in wishing you a happy birthday. This is Matt Boxberger from San Jose, California.
E é claro, feliz aniversário para a senhora. Grande beijão. Tchau, tchau. Hello there, Miss Emily. I hope your special day will bring you lots of happiness, love, and fun. You deserve them a lot. Enjoy. Cheers from Brazil. Bye-bye.
Dobre den, Emily. Hello, this is Fritz from Sunshine Coast in Australia. Happy birthday, Emily. My grandmother was Czech too. Mum, South African originally and living in Australia. Happy birthday to you. So I'm going to give a quick few seconds sing in my mother tongue, which is Afrikaans. That's my native language from South Africa. So I'm going to give you a quick sing. I'm not much of a singer, but it's a little bit special to get to your age. Veels geluk, lieve maatjie, omdat jy verjaar, mag die Here jou seën en nog baie jare spaar. So that's my happy birthday song in my mother tongue, Afrikaans, Fritz Rada from Sunshine Coast in Australia, with a South African accent. Thanks, Steve. You're doing a brilliant job, mate. Thanks. Appreciate your work. Carpe diem.
Hi, my name is Leo from Melbourne, Australia, and I would love to wish a wonderful 98th birthday to Emily. And you should be so proud of your grandson, the great work and the influence he is having all over the world. Ciao, Emily.
Hello, Emily. This is Paul Lanigan from Melbourne, Australia, wishing you a very happy birthday.
Hello, Sunday Stoic. My name is Diego. I am from Argentina. I have the luck, the fortunate opportunity to live in your wonderful country. I am now on a road trip that started in Northern California. Now I'm in New Mexico, making my way east. I really enjoyed the story of your grandmother, and I want to be of service. Feliz cumpleaños, Emily. Desde el fondo de mi corazón. Feliz cumpleaños.
Hello, Emily. This is Jed from Traverse City, Michigan. I just wanted to wish you a very happy 98th birthday. I hope you're having a great day, and here's to many more birthdays to come. Take care.
Hi there, this is Barry McMullen calling from Dublin, Ireland, and I want to wish Steve's grandmother Emily a really great happy birthday, or in Irish or Ascélige, that's Bretla Sunadich. We don't speak Irish all the time here, but we use it for all important ceremonial occasions, and I can't think of a better occasion than this. Have a really great day. Bye.
Thank you for listening to The Sunday Stoic. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe, rate, and review The Sunday Stoic on iTunes. Become a member of the Sunday Stoic team, earn rewards, and be an integral part of the show by becoming a patron at www.patreon.com/SundayStoic. Contact the show by emailing sundaystoic@gmail.com or by leaving a voicemail at 501-503-3132. To find out more, visit www.sundaystoicpodcast.com.